So who really needs an expensive and fancy set of cables? If you are one of them, then stay on for this video. Now check out all the cables that you have. You are probably likely to have a mix of USB-C to USB-C cables, or maybe A to C, or A to Lightning, or C to Lightning. Plenty of combinations, including some proprietary cables, but nothing that you have will resemble what I have here today. Now these are the Aohi, the future of creative power cables. Why is it creative? Why do you need creative cables? Now, amongst all the cables that you have, none of them will have variable length, and this is what we have here today. So how does it work? Okay, so what we have here, this is a USB-C to Lightning cable, and on this end here, after I disconnect the longer part of it, is a short USB-C to USB-C cable, and this is also 10 centimeters. This is the extension cable, and you can connect to the 10 centimeters for a total of 90 centimeters because this is 80 centimeters. Now there's another component here, which is this springy thing right here, and it technically stretches up to 5 feet, although I don't want to try it because Hooke's law, right? Once you pass a certain tension, it will never spring back. And I like how tightly coiled this is. It's really nice and wriggly. Well, these are nylon braided. They are yellow in color, very racy, very nice color. So how does it work to connect up? Well, there are these, what do you call it? Connectors right here where they are threaded, they are screw threaded. So you put one end in, you screw it tight, and it becomes very, very secure. So, so it makes up for a USB-C to Lightning cable. So how does extensible work? Basically, you have one end here, which you can connect right up, right? This is the 1.5 meters, 150 centimeters, plus another 80 centimeters. That gives you 2.3. Again, don't stretch it too far. And on the other end, the final end, you can then connect the 10 centimeters right here, and you will get a total length of, I don't know, what is it? 260 centimeters? No, it doesn't add up. So this is 80, and this is 10. So is this 80? Yeah, this is 80. 10, that's 90. Oh, this is 170 centimeters. Well, okay, very far. Okay, and this is expensive, all right? But what you get is two sets of cable. One is a USB-C to USB-C, and after you swap this out, you'll get USB-C to Lightning. So the cable performs two functions. One is for charging and the second is for data transfer. But you have to note one thing, these are not Thunderbolt cables. In fact, far from Thunderbolt, it only supports up to 480 Mbps in transfer speed. So you're not going to get blazing fast transfer speed. I tried to transfer some files, you're only going to get like tens of megabytes of transfer speed using this set of cables. So if you have $129 and nothing better to spend on, then this will give you bragging rights, right? You have cables that cost more than $100, but they do look very racy. Now, another claim to fame is these are PD3.1 charging protocol compatible, meaning to say they are able to transfer up to 240 watts of power. Now, PD3.1 means that it is able to scale up beyond 20 volts of power, which will hit, I think, 28 volts and 36 volts and 48 volts, pushing 5 amps down the line, which will give you up to a total of 240 watts. Now, do we have anything that charges at 240 watts right now today? Probably not, but this standard PD3.1 was ratified in 2021, which allows for a lot faster charging devices. Bear in mind that the fastest phone can charge at 120 watts today already, which is faster than a lot of laptops. So build quality aside, these are nylon braided, they are yellow. I have a yellow charger. This is also Aohi, and it comes in almost the same shade of yellow, as you can tell from here. And the cables itself, they are thick, all right? The cross-sectional area is 5 millimeters, so it does look a lot thicker than a lot of the other cables that I've seen before, which definitely helps it to push 240 watts of power. 240 watts of power is a lot of power. Now let's see whether it charges to that amount of power, that amount of speed. So what I have here is a MacBook Pro 16-inch, and right now, let me check the battery level. It is at 84%. Now 84% means it probably won't pull very, very fast charge, but what this charger is capable of putting out is actually only 65 watts. So let's see whether it will transfer at least 65 watts. And okay, so this end here is bi-directional, so it doesn't really matter which end you're putting it through. But okay, and let's plug it in to the MacBook Pro 16-inch, which should be hungry for some power. There are LED indicators, LED lights on the cable itself. It is now orange. I think when you first plug it in, it should be green to indicate that it's active. If it goes to blue, it is a slow normal charge. And when it goes to orange, it is actually performing a very fast charge. Now, how fast it is? Well, orange means it's a fast charge, but we do have a meter here. This is a MakerHawk USB meter. So I'm going to plug it in. You won't be able to see it from your angle. The display screen is right here, but I will read it out to you. It turns on right here. It shows voltage, it shows the current as well as temperature and a couple of other things. Oh, the font is really small, but let me try to read it to you. Okay, now it's pulling 19.77 volts, pushing 3.4 amps down the line for a total of, oh wow, 66.xxx watts. So it is capable of pushing 65 watt. Oh, actually this is a 67 watt charger. So very true to rating. The cable is definitely capable of doing that. Now, if I had a bigger power supply, a bigger charger, which is capable of pushing out 100 watts or even more, will it be able to do so? Now, why don't we just pull that out and check? So, okay, we have a very powerful charger here. I won't review the charger brand right now. I will talk about it in another video, but I'm plugging it into a PD3.0 compatible port, which should push out 20 volts at up to 5 amps for a total of 100 watts. I know the MacBook Pro is capable of taking 100 watts power. So what we have here, 19.95 volts pushing 4.7 amp for a total of 90, okay, it's jumping up and down, but 96 watts of power. So this entire length of cable at up to 260 centimeters of cable at 5 millimeter cross-sectional diameter is capable of pushing 95, 96 watts of power to the MacBook Pro, which is demanding it. The MacBook Pro is running Cinebench R23 right now. It is not connected to any other power supply, so it really is demanding that amount of power. Okay, so now we know that the cable is capable of pushing out quite a bit of power. Let's focus on this actual cable itself. So to keep all these cables, Aohi actually supplies a carrying case. Now this is a silicone carrying case, a very nice material. Oh, by the way, this cable also comes in silicone coating, so you don't need to get the yellow braided. If this is not your color or you don't like this, you want the silicone coating, they do actually have a version for the silicone coating, which probably costs about as much as well. So if you want to travel with these and carry these around, you just stuff everything right in. Oh, there's something inside. This screw nut. So basically they supply an extra screw nut so that you can bring it around. You can lose it if you are prone to losing things, which I might be. Okay, but otherwise you keep it secured and the whole cable length should be good for a long time because these aren't going anywhere. They are really secured. So don't be in the habit of moving things around and you should be quite fine. Now, my favorite configuration is not to use this springy cable. I will talk about a use case for this springy cable in just a little bit. But before that, let me show you my favorite configuration. This will be the iPhone side. Okay, I can plug it in. Does it charge the iPhone? Of course it charges the iPhone. Let's plug it in. You'll see the indicator light green. Okay, it means there is power supplied. And if I push it in through to power my iPhone 14 Pro Max, it changes to blue. Blue means it's standard charging rate. It's not the fastest, but it takes a while for the iPhone to negotiate. Now it has turned to orange, meaning to say it's actually pulling a fast charge beyond the standard 5 volts protocol. Now I'm going to again measure this. I should have done it earlier, but I'll plug in the MakerHawk, plug it in. Let's check the power draw. Okay, so it is charging now. It is going up 6.4 volt. Okay, it's jumped to 9 volts already. It's putting 0.6 amp through 0.8 amp now. 1 amp of power, 1.1 amp of power, 1.3 is going up, 1.4. The total charging current is now at 14, 15, 16 watts of power. Okay, so the iPhone is capable of charging, or rather drawing more than 20 watts of power, as I've tested with other chargers before. Let's see how much it goes to. Oh, it goes to now 21 watts of power. 9 volts multiplied by 2.6, 2.9. Oh wow, it is really going up. Now it's charging at 24 watts, 2.7, 2.6, 2.7 amps. Okay, so the cable is certified. It does charge. Now, does it charge small items like maybe the AirPods Pro, which doesn't take a lot of charge? Oh, the clicking is really reassuring. Very, very nicely made. So it is now green, means is what? Trickle charging. Green, 5 volts at 0.2 amps for just over 1 watt of charging. So not the fastest, but well, it works. It charges this guy. Listen to the chime. This is the AirPods Pro 2, which has a built-in speaker to indicate charging. There you go. The ding. Okay, see, it's charging. Okay, so everything is good here. Now, I have some bonus content for you today. So as I've mentioned, this is a very nice racy yellow color Aohi charger. Very compact 67 watt GAN charger. It features 2 ports, one USB-A port and one USB-C port on the top of it. It's very small, very compact. So if you have any legacy USB-A devices that requires that port, it charges from that as well, up to 22.5 volts. Whereas if used on its own, the USB-C port is able to put up 67 watts of charging power. Now, the second piece of bonus content I have for you here is right here. Now, this cable is also from Aohi. Very, very interesting cable. Now, it doesn't look any remarkable. It's about 1.2 meters in length, 120 centimeters, 4 feet. One end of it is USB-C and the other end of it is Lightning. So nothing special, nothing different. But let me plug it in and you will understand what I mean. Okay, first, the light indicator. So the same light indicator as on the Aohi, this racy yellow creative cables, super cables. Okay, so green, nothing is happening. If you plug into something, it starts charging at standard rate, it will turn blue. If it charges fast, it will turn yellow. Now, this is, again, my iPhone Pro 14 Max, iPhone 14 Pro Max. Okay, it is at 53% charge, so it is hungry for battery. It is pulling blue now. Oh, it has just turned orange, meaning to say it's going at a fast charge. Now, it might not be in focus, but if you look at it, there's actually a display right here that tells you the power that is pulling from the charger and putting through the line to the iPhone right there. So let me just take a look at it. It is pulling 15, 16 watts, 17 watts of power. Okay, so built in to the cable itself on this end of the USB-C connector is actually a power meter. Right now it's at 19 watts. Oh, 20 watts now. Okay, maybe I should use the meter again, right? So this is the meter. I'm gonna plug it in. And let's repeat the process and I'll read out from here. Well, you can see the power rating that is putting out from the charger to the phone. Okay, right now it's at 9 volts. 9 volts is the highest that the iPhone will manage. And how much current is it putting through? Is 0.6, 0.7 amps. Oh, now it's at 1 amp. So it's a total of 10 watts, 1.2 amp, 1.3 amp. It's climbing up pretty quickly. Let's see. Let's turn the phone on and show some screen brightness to boost up the current draw. Oh, 2.1 amp right now at 9 volts, which means to say it is pushing out anything. Oh, it's about 18 watts of power. And let's see what the reading here says is, well, it's 18 watts of power right here. It is definitely capable of putting out more. Let's see if it climbs up any further. Now it's at 19.7, almost close to 20 watts of power already. Let's turn to the front and see what it reads. Oh, it reads 21 over here. And at the back is, well, 20.9, right? So effectively, this cable, it also does a very good job of transferring power from the charger and charging up your iPhones or any iOS devices, I guess, even the AirPods Pro, or if you have an Apple TV remote, it will work too. It's charging. This one shouldn't pull very much. It's 5 volts at 0.1, 0.2 amps, delivering 1.2 or 1.3 watts of power, and This, yep, it's just showing 1 watts here. So, well, very effective cable, and I like the fact that it has all those indicators right there. Again, this is just a sideshow, right? The cable here, very interesting cable. I really like it. The charger here, most important star today is this cable. Very, very well made. Nobody's going to steal it. They are actually quite bulky. Now, I wanted to talk about the use case of this coiled up cable. Now, the coiling is fantastic. It is tight, okay? I've been using it for a while and I've been not abusing it. I don't dare to pull it too much, but right now, after a few weeks of use, it is still very tightly coiled up. So very, very well made, very effective. So use case of it. Now, if you know anyone who's playing around with keyboards, custom mechanical keyboards, this is the kind of thing that they are interested in, right? In their term, they call it the aviator cable. So what you do is you connect it to your PC, okay, on one end with a USB-C port, and this end will then go into your custom cable, custom keyboard, what am I talking about, right? So with the keyboard here, well, I have a keyboard, I didn't bring it down, but over here, right, very nice, very custom look because of the yellow, right? So especially if you have yellow keycaps, I think it will match very, very perfectly. The other use case of this is, imagine if you were in a car, right? You don't want long cables running over, but you do want the flexibility of sometimes moving the phone a little bit to the left or to the right, or if you are at a traffic light, you want to put the phone closer to you. This will allow for it, right, from the charging point, or if you are connected to CarPlay or Android Auto, which will also require this. But the problem is that this end is a USB-C port, so you got to make sure that your car, the charging point, is actually using a USB-C port, which is not exactly the most common. Now, there will be another group of you who will be thinking that these cables will be useful for improving sound quality. I'm going to tell you that's bullshit, okay? I don't believe that digital music can be enhanced by using expensive digital cable. Now, past a certain point, you do want to make sure that the cables reject any RF, radio frequency interference, and past a certain point, past a certain quality level, you're not going to get better sound. Your music is not going to sound clearer, more open, more dynamic, have better range, more treble, better bass, tighter, all those nonsense, okay? It's not going to improve your music quality. If you are one of those audiophiles who are on my channel and looking at these kind of cables after spending hundreds of dollars to improve your sound quality, it's not going to happen, but it is really nice. Is there competition out there? I actually have not encountered any cables that comes close to looking this good and comes close to being this well built. Basically, there's nothing else out there. If you got $129 and if you need to show off, then this is a set of cables to get. Limited edition, no less. The Future Creative Power Cable. Okay? If anything, the customized length, very useful. Most important, again, LED indicator to show you what your charger is doing, to show you that the charge is actually being put through to your device by the cable. So on this channel, I do talk a lot about tech stuff, especially audio products, but occasionally I talk about cables, I talk about charging. So if you're interested, check out one of these videos right here, and I will see you in that video.